Hi friends, today we're going to be making a snow globe family portrait. On your paper, your piece of drawing paper, I already have a circle drawn for you. And that's just to help you get started with your snow globe so that you have enough room to put your snow people family portrait. I'm using a pencil I used a pencil to do your outline, but you're going to need to trace over that with a Sharpie marker. If I were you, I might start with a pencil first whenever I'm drawing my snow people and the other items, because once you mess up, that's it. We only do one sheet of paper for each student, so make sure that you're trying your best not to make mistakes. So I'm just tracing over this to get myself started. If you do draw with a pencil, you'll trace over it with the marker so we can see everything really well. The next thing to do is to draw two diagonal lines. Horizontal lines go across like this, and diagonals are always slanted. On our classroom door, we have a horizontal line and a vertical line. So these two diagonal lines, I'm going to connect those together with a curvy line. And then I'm going to add some details down to the bottom of the snow globe. So I would like for you to come up with a couple of patterns that you'd like to put on there just to make it more visually interesting. So I'm going to do two patterns. The first pattern that I'm going to do is a bumpy line. I'm going to make a bumpy line going across the top. Then I'm going to make another bumpy line just like that one right underneath. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Another bumpy line at the bottom, and then another one right up above it so that it's a stripe that I can fill in with colors later. And now, in between all those bumps that I just did, I'm going to do some little spheres. And I'm going to do one on the side to make it look like it's three-dimensional. Then I'm going to keep going down around the front of the snow globe until I've got that all complete. And now it's time to begin the part inside of the snow globe, my snow people family portrait. So I'm just going to give myself a base. It's going to look like some of the snow settled in the bottom of the globe or the glass. Whenever you shake it up, all the color or all the snow comes down. You may have one at home. The snow globes are really fun to shake up and watch all the pieces settle. So I'm just planning out my design. I have 4 people in my family. So I'm going to make sure I have room for my husband, me, and then my son and my daughter. So I'm going to start with my husband's head. I don't close it up all the way because I'm going to give him a hat a little bit later. And I'm basically making circles or ovals, but I'm attaching them together because when you make a snowman, you put one on top of the other. For the bottom piece, I just did 2 curvy lines because he's sitting in the snow. And now I'm going to start on myself, on my head. So I'm going to do my head, not closed all the way up, the middle piece of the body, and then I'm kind of tucked behind my husband. So we're overlapping, which will make your artwork look like it's a little more deep than it really is. And now I'm working on Emerson. He's going to be on the left side of the snow globe family portrait. And then our little girl, Everly, is going to be on the right side. You could do you and your mom and your dad and your brother or sister. If you have a lot of people in your family, too many you think to fit inside the snow globe, then maybe you could do just a portion of your family. Maybe you and your cousins, or you and your grandma, or just you and your brothers and sisters. You could give this as a gift to your parents for Christmas. But anyway, I'm going to finish the hats. I'm just doing different hats. I'm going to do a pom-pom on this hat because Everly is a little girl. Lots of times little girls have pom-poms on the tops of their hats. Emerson's hat that he has is a plain one, so I'm not going to do a pom-pom on his. Now it's time to add the details to the faces. So I start with circles, and then I draw a little circle inside and color in the space between the little circle and the big circle. So it looks like there's a little white highlight left in the eyeball. And if you have a different way of drawing eyes, go for it. Or if you want the eyes to look like they're made of something else, that's perfectly fine. When snowmen are being built, there's no telling what you're going to use to build them. So I just continue adding those details in. Typically, what people mostly think of whenever they think of a snowman nose is they think of a carrot. So we're going to place a carrot on each snow person's nose. And then add in some more details. Got to keep those snow people warm. I mean, they're ice cold. This is just a close-up view of all 4 of the family members there. So for the mouths, I just do little dots. And then after I get done with the mouths, I'm going to start adding in some scarves and buttons and little arms. The arms are kind of fun to do. They are branches. So I'm going to do the edge of the scarf here so it looks like it's kind of flapping in the wind. I put stripes on my scarf. Depending on how big your snowman is inside of your snow family globe, that depends on how much detail you can actually add. All right, keep on adding in those pieces. Now I'm doing the arms. The arms, you can do it like a letter Y. So here I've got the stem of the letter Y and then the pieces coming off the top. My arm is going back behind the snowman beside me. You can have them linking arms or holding arms, or one arm going back behind another one as if they're hugging or patting each other on the back. You might want to add some little extras. Everly's snow person is so small that I just did one line for each of the arms there for her. Now I'm going to add in a few final details, and then I'll be ready to add some color. Okay, so just adding in some buttons. Then I'm going to pick out a few colors of crayons and begin to add those things in as well. But before I do that, I'm going to draw some snow. I'm going to actually draw circles and leave the middle open so it looks like little snow droplets. It's hard to draw white snow on white paper, so that's why I do the open black circles to match the rest of the drawing. You can also put your pieces of snow in front of the snow people because the snow would be falling in front of them, the snow would be falling behind them, and also on the ground. So that's why you see me putting those circles everywhere. It looks like the snow globe has just been shaken up and all the pieces haven't settled. So now I'm choosing some colors. These crayons look purple on the screen, but they're actually two different blues. I've got cerulean and then I've got blue. So you could also use indigo, or you could even use violet for what I'm about to do. But when I see snow or I see ice, lots of times the color doesn't really look just plain white. It looks as if it is blue in some areas whenever the sky reflects off the snow. Kind of like in the movie Frozen, whenever Elsa creates her ice castle, you'll see whites and you see blues, and you see grays. They're different light blues mostly. So I'm just adding a little bit of color to one side of each of the snowman body parts. And I can use other colors for the base of the snow globe. I've seen snow globes of all different kinds before. I've seen red and green for Christmas colors. I've seen other wintry colors on snow globes. It really is up to you. All the details on the snow people can be any colors that you would like as well. So I'm just thinking about some more colors that I can add to the snow people. I've grabbed a few, I have them in my hand here, and I'm going to think about the base of the artwork. The base of the artwork, I can put whatever I like, but I'm going to start with some red. That color is called Scarlet. It looks like it has an orange wrapper, so everybody thinks it's going to be orange if they use it, but it's actually going to be a really pretty bright cherry red. The other crayon is called Red, and it's just a different type of red. I hope that you guys have a great time making these snow globe family portraits.